Hello there, and welcome back to What If, where today we'll be looking into additional possible chapters that might be coming out for Dead by Daylight. I hadn't thought of a title when I first recorded the Clock Tower chapter, so yay, we have a title. In this episode of What If, we're going to be creating what is essentially a blueprint of what a chapter or paragraph revolving around these particular franchises may look like. Today we are looking at Haunting Ground as a possible upcoming chapter for Dead by Daylight, and this is complete with a location, killer, and survivor that would fit into the game. So strap in everyone, as we delve into Haunting Ground. In the game Haunting Ground, you play as Fiona Belli, who wakes up in the dungeon of a Gothic-style mansion, with only vague memories of how she got there. She is informed that she has inherited the mansion, and the grounds that surround it. But the mansion is more prison than homestead, and all of its inhabitants are unhinged in one way or another. Fiona, along with a white German shepherd named Hewie, must rely on each other to survive the night, avoid Fiona's various pursuers, and escape the castle alive. Location: the Belli Castle. There are actually multiple locations that are considered the Belli Castle, but of the locations available, I would recommend the first location in the game, which is the front hall, kitchen, bedrooms, and the surrounding gardens. The area is two-tiered with a limited number of drop-off locations and places to hide, creating opportunities for a unique layout, possibly having the top level and bottom level of the map be largely separate with only a few points where the two intersect. We've seen hospitals, schools, and a neighborhood in past expansions so far, but a castle might bring something new and unique to the procedurals. Killer: Daniella, the homunculus. There are actually a lot of possible killers in Haunting Ground, but I think the one that best fits has to be Daniella. One thing that made me think that Daniella was the best bet is the fact that she is the only one who attacks with a melee weapon. Sure, Bellitas has his great big monster hands, and Ricardo has his pistol, but I don't think either of those would really fit as well as Daniella with her glass shard or fire poker. Daniella also seems like she could be a bit more easily manipulated by the entity due to her backstory. For those that don't know, Daniella is a homunculus, created to be the perfect woman, but she lacked the ability to feel pain, taste, or enjoy the most basic of emotions. And along with all of this, she could not produce offspring. This left her frustrated as she sees herself as incomplete. Her chapter in Haunting Ground finds herself chasing Fiona so that she can take her essence in a possibly vain attempt to make herself whole. She's somewhat odd as a killer though, as she often flips on a dime between hunting Fiona down and cleaning the castle. This is due to her feeling compelled to clean when it's cleaning time. Despite being a living, breathing individual, Daniella acts in a very robotic manner, as if she were programmed or brainwashed to be the perfect maid. This became a problem when she found that she desired something for herself for the first time in her life, leading to her personality warping and her essentially acting like a computer that has short-circuited or has had its data corrupted. While stamina-wise she's one of the weaker killers in the game, she's also the most brutal and methodical, intentionally trying to trick Fiona and limiting her escape options. She does, however, have her own unique weakness in the form of mirrors, as she despises her own reflection, as it is a constant reminder that she is not a complete person. Daniella's ability would be Seeker of Life. With Seeker of Life, Daniella will build up a gauge while in chase. Once the gauge has built up, she will be able to let out a scream and will begin moving at a base of 125% movement speed. While moving using this power, she'll be able to put any pallets that are in her way back up. At around the same time it would have taken a survivor to vault over them. Doing so will make the pallet non-interactable for about 15 seconds. She will also be able to vault windows faster than normal, though not quite as fast as survivors. She can still build up bloodlust while using this ability, further increasing her speed. Once her ability has been activated, it cannot be stopped until the gauge has completely depleted, or if she has become stunned in some way. The second part of her ability also involves pallets. She is wise to survivors' tricks, and is more than happy to use those tricks against them. If Daniella is near a pallet, she can actually throw the pallet down herself. If a survivor is hit by the pallet, they will go down 1 health state. Afterwards, her ability to throw down pallets will go on cooldown for a short duration. Note that she can use this ability whether or not the first part of her kit is active. Daniella's first perk is Tidy Up. If Daniella is following a blood trail, she gets a speed bonus by consuming each pool of blood that she touches, adding a 2% speed bonus to each blood pool that she consumes for 5 seconds. This speed bonus stacks with Bloodlust, but will not stack with killer-specific abilities such as Daniella's Essence of Life, Hillbilly's Chainsaw, Oni's Charge, etc. etc. Daniella's second perk is Dinner is Served. With Dinner is Served, Daniella has the ability to cause survivors to run into dangers when using their items. If Daniella hits a survivor while they are holding an item, the item is invisibly marked with Dinner is Served. If they try to use the item while it is marked, the item will explode in their hand, causing them to go down a health state, and can even put them in the dying state if they are already injured. This explosion will also cause the item to lose 50% of its overall stacks, or completely destroy the item if it is a key. Dinner is Served can only be applied to an item once per match, and is active for a max of 120 seconds. Daniella's third perk is Catoptrophobia. Now, this one's gonna be fun. With Catoptrophobia, the survivors now have a deep fear of themselves. If 2 players are using the same survivor in a match, they will automatically receive a 15% penalty towards all actions in the match. If the 2 lookalikes are within a 32-meter range of each other, this is increased to 50%. A player will lose this debuff if their doppelganger is killed at any point during the match. The survivor for the Haunting Ground chapter would be Fiona Belli, the precious princess. Fiona had only recently moved away from her parents to attend college and was visiting with them when they were involved in a car crash that resulted in their deaths. When she awoke, she found that she had inherited the massive Belli Castle. But not all was as it seemed. She soon found herself imprisoned in the castle that was supposed to be her birthright, with multiple sordid individuals wanting to claim her for their own nefarious ends. While she had Hewie to rely on in Belli Castle, after being captured by the entity, she will have to rely on her own strengths. Luckily, there is more to Fiona than just being a pretty face, as she inherited more than just a creepy castle filled with eccentric people. Fiona's first perk is Azoth. Fiona's body is unique, allowing her to shrug off wounds that would normally be fatal to others. With Azoth, Fiona is able to heal herself passively without the need of others. When Fiona is injured from any source, she will immediately go into the broken status. After 120 seconds, Fiona will passively heal herself back to the healthy status. If she is placed on a hook, she will still heal herself, and can be taken off the hook completely healthy. As a side effect though, Fiona cannot be healed from any other source or perk. If Fiona successfully heals herself while she is not on the hook, all other survivors still in the match will receive a small amount of blood points and altruism, as well as points towards the benevolent emblem. Fiona's second perk is Master of Escapes. Once the hatch has spawned on the map, a notification will be provided for Fiona, and its aura will be seen for a short duration. Going over to the hatch will allow Fiona to start the process of unlocking it without a key. But the catch is that the killer will be able to see her aura while she tries to escape. If Fiona manages to escape, the hatch will close immediately after she goes through. How long it takes to open the hatch will vary on a number of factors. At base, it will take 30 seconds to open the hatch. For each additional survivor still alive, it will take an additional 30 seconds to open, at a maximum of 2 minutes. If the endgame collapse has begun, and Fiona is the only survivor left in the trial, it will only take 10 seconds to open the hatch, and the killer will not receive a notification. If Fiona is interrupted while opening the hatch, the timer to open the hatch will reset, requiring her to do it all over again. As a side effect to using this perk, Fiona will not be able to open the hatch with a key. This perk is mainly meant for in-game collapse standoffs where doors are simply too close together for a survivor to feasibly escape, especially with killers like Spirit, Nurse, Hillbilly, and Blight that can jump across the map in a split second. That way when games occur where things just go wrong on the survivor's side, they at least have some chance to escape if they are the last person alive. It's also not meant to be used early, which is why it's made so hard to open the hatch when there are multiple people and the killer is still present. But hey, if you do manage to get the hatch open with other players still in the game, then kudos to you, as the killer must not have been paying attention. Fiona's final perk is Burgeoning Alchemist. Her time spent at Belli Castle has made it to where Fiona can make something from nothing. If Fiona has an item in her hand and finds a different item in the procedural, she can destroy the other item to add charges to the item that she already has. The amount of charges added will depend on the item that she already has, and items that are already depleted will provide fewer charges than items that have yet to be used. And that's it for the Haunting Ground chapter. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Stick around till the end of the video as I have a short teaser for what the next chapter will be. I've actually been having a lot of fun with these, and I have a few more games that I would like to cover before possibly moving on to other forms of media. Once again, thank you to Jack Freeman for supporting me on Patreon. If you would also like to support me there, you can do so by following the link below, where you can get a few exclusives, including voting on certain future videos. I've also started posting scripts from past videos so you can see how the scripts differ from the end product. If you can't or simply don't want to support me on Patreon, not to worry, I completely understand. If you would still like my videos and subscribe if you haven't already, that would also be extremely helpful in allowing this channel to grow. So, for all of you out there, as always, I thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Actually, I've changed my mind.